There is a kind of pain no one sees. Not the pain of losing money, not the pain of losing a person, not even the pain of failure. There is a pain that sits quietly inside the chest, the pain of feeling different. You sit with people, but your heart is not sitting with them. You smile, but deep inside you are asking, why do I not feel like everyone else? You look at the things people enjoy, and you wonder why they do not fill you anymore. You hear them laugh at what once made you laugh, but now something inside you feels distant. You try to join the same conversations, the same habits, the same crowd, the same life, but it feels like wearing clothes that no longer fit. And the most confusing part is this: you did not choose to become different. You did not wake up one morning and decide to feel strange. You did not ask for your heart to become sensitive. You did not ask to feel deep things that others ignore. You did not ask to be the one who notices intentions, feels energies, reads silence, cries privately, and wonders why your soul is so tired in places where others look comfortable. So you start asking dangerous questions. Is something wrong with me? Am I too emotional? Am I being punished? Why can I not just be normal? But my brother, my sister, listen carefully. Sometimes what you call being different is not a defect. It is a direction. Sometimes what makes you feel left out is what Allah is using to pull you out. Sometimes the discomfort is not because you are broken. Sometimes the discomfort is because your heart is being called to a cleaner place. A seed feels buried before it knows it is planted. A pearl is born because something entered the shell and disturbed it. Gold does not complain in the fire because the fire is not there to destroy it. The fire is there to reveal what was always inside. And perhaps this is why you feel different. Not because Allah has abandoned you. Not because you are too weak. Not because your life is going wrong. But because Allah is quietly separating you from everything that would have made you forget who you were meant to become. You are not strange because you are lost. You may be strange because you are being guided. You are not lonely because you have no value. You may be lonely because Allah is protecting your value from people who would not know how to hold it. You are not sensitive because you are small. You may be sensitive because Allah kept your heart alive in a world that teaches hearts to become hard. So tonight, do not hate the difference. Understand it. Because the very thing you are trying to hide may be the sign that Allah is doing something beautiful inside you. Allah lets you feel different, so you stop copying a life that was never yours. One of the deepest reasons Allah lets you feel different is because He is saving you from living a copied life. Many people do not live. They repeat. They repeat what their friends do. They repeat what their family expects. They repeat what society praises. They repeat the same dreams, the same fears, the same conversations, the same desires. They may look happy on the outside, but deep inside, many of them never asked, is this life pleasing to Allah? Is this path taking me closer to peace? Is this the person I was created to become? They simply followed the crowd. And following the crowd can feel safe, because when you copy everyone else, no one questions you. When you laugh at what they laugh at, no one calls you boring. When you chase what they chase, no one calls you strange. When you waste time the way they waste time, no one makes you feel guilty. But the danger is this: a crowd can be moving fast and still be moving in the wrong direction. A crowd can be loud and still be empty. A crowd can make you feel accepted and still pull you away from Allah. So Allah, out of mercy, may place a discomfort inside you. You sit in the same places, but your heart feels restless. You join the same habits, but your soul feels heavy. You listen to the same jokes, but something inside you whispers, this is not for you anymore. At first, you may hate that feeling. You may think, why can't I just enjoy life like everyone else? But what if that discomfort is a gift? What if Allah is making certain things taste bitter because they were slowly harming you? What if He is removing the sweetness from places that were stealing your light? What if He is allowing you to feel different because He does not want you to become a copy of people who are themselves lost? My brother, my sister, not every door that closes is a loss. Sometimes the closing of a door is Allah saying, "Not this one, you are not made for this." Not every friend you outgrow is a punishment. Sometimes it is Allah saying, "They were good for a season, but they cannot walk with you into the next chapter." Not every moment of loneliness is rejection. Sometimes it is preparation. Because when Allah wants to build a person, He often removes them from noise. He removes them from the crowd. He removes them from the need to be approved by everyone. And slowly He teaches them to stand with truth, even when they stand alone. This is why you may feel different. Because Allah does not want your heart to be trained by people who do not know your purpose. He does not want your worth to depend on likes, attention, compliments, approval, or popularity. He wants you to know that your value was never created by people, so it cannot be destroyed by people. You may feel different because Allah is teaching you to stop asking the world for permission to become the person He is calling you to be. And that is not weakness. That is awakening. Allah lets you feel different because He is protecting what is soft inside you. There is a softness in some hearts that this world does not understand. Some people can hurt others and sleep easily. Some people can speak cruel words and feel nothing. Some people can betray, mock, use, lie, and continue as if nothing happened. But you are not like that. You feel things deeply. You think about what you said. You regret hurting someone, even by mistake. You remember small moments. You cry over things others laugh at. You feel guilt quickly. You forgive, but you still ache. You love deeply. And when people are careless with your heart, it does not just hurt you for one day. It changes the way you breathe. And because of this, you may think your heart is weak. But my sister, my brother, a soft heart is not a weak heart. A soft heart is a living heart. The problem is not that your heart feels. The problem is that you may have been giving your heart to people and places that were never meant to protect it. So Allah lets you feel different. He makes you unable to enjoy harshness. He makes you uncomfortable around cruelty. He makes you restless when you are becoming someone you do not recognize. He makes your heart hurt when you move too far from Him. Why? Because He is protecting the softness inside you. The world will tell you, stop caring. Allah teaches you, care in the right way. The world will tell you, become cold. Allah teaches you, become wise. The world will tell you, trust no one. Allah teaches you, trust me first, then choose people carefully. There is a big difference between becoming hard and becoming strong. A hard heart stops feeling. A strong heart feels, but does not let every person control it. A hard heart becomes cruel. A strong heart remains kind, but it learns boundaries. A hard heart says, I do not need anyone. A strong heart says, I need Allah, and I will not beg people to treat me with basic respect. Perhaps Allah lets you feel different because He is saving your softness from being wasted. He knows that if you stayed in certain friendships, they would train you to gossip. He knows that if you stayed in certain relationships, they would train you to beg. He knows that if you stayed in certain environments, they would train you to become fake. He knows that if you kept chasing certain people, they would train you to hate yourself. So He makes you uncomfortable. He places a heaviness in your chest. He lets you feel out of place. And in that feeling, He is not rejecting you. He is rescuing you. Sometimes the heart feels different because Allah is building a fence around it, not to trap it, to protect it. A garden without a fence will be stepped on by everyone. A heart without boundaries will be used by people who do not fear Allah in how they treat others. So do not curse the sensitivity. Do not hate the tears. Do not be ashamed that you feel deeply. Ask Allah to make your heart clean, wise, protected and attached to Him. Because a soft heart guided by Allah becomes one of the most powerful things in this world. It does not need to shout. It does not need to prove. It does not need to become cruel. It simply becomes firm, peaceful, and very hard to break. Allah lets you feel different because He is removing your addiction to approval. There is a hidden chain many people wear, and they do not even know it. It is the chain of wanting everyone to approve of them. They dress for approval. They speak for approval. They post for approval. They stay quiet for approval. They say yes when their heart says no, because they fear losing approval. They accept disrespect because they fear being called difficult. They hide their faith because they fear being called too religious. They hide their pain because they fear being called dramatic. They hide their dreams because they fear being laughed at. And slowly, they become prisoners of other people's opinions. But Allah did not create your soul to be owned by people. So sometimes Allah lets you feel different because He is breaking this addiction. At first, it hurts. You feel misunderstood. People who once praised you may begin to question you. People who once included you may begin to leave you out. People who liked the old version of you may not understand the new version of you, and you may feel tempted to go back. You may think, maybe I should just act like before. Maybe I should just become easy for them again. Maybe I should stop growing so they can feel comfortable. But listen carefully. If people only love you when you abandon yourself, that is not love. If people only accept you when you ignore Allah, that is not friendship. If people only clap for you when you stay small, that is not support. Allah may allow you to lose certain approval so you can finally taste a better kind of freedom. The freedom of saying, Allah sees me, and that is enough. The freedom of doing the right thing even when nobody praises you. The freedom of walking away from people who only liked you when they could control you. The freedom of not explaining your soul to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. My brother, my sister, you do not need to be rude. You do not need to become arrogant. You do not need to act superior. That is not the way of a believer. But you also do not need to shrink yourself so people can feel powerful around you. You do not need to disobey Allah to make people comfortable. You do not need to laugh at what harms your heart. You do not need to stay in circles where your faith becomes weaker, your mind becomes dirtier, and your soul becomes tired. Sometimes Allah makes you feel different because He is teaching you that being accepted by people is not the same as being honored by Allah. People can clap for you while you are falling. People can praise you while you are losing yourself. People can love the version of you that is furthest from Allah. So Allah removes the sweetness of their approval. He lets their opinions stop feeding you. He lets their praise become empty. He lets their rejection lose power. And slowly, you begin to breathe differently. You begin to say, I would rather be misunderstood while obeying Allah than celebrated while losing my soul. That is a powerful shift. That is when you stop living for applause. That is when you stop begging to be chosen by people. That is when you realize that Allah's nearness is better than the whole world's attention. And that is why you feel different. Because Allah is freeing you from a prison you once called love. Allah lets you feel different because He is teaching you to recognize what no longer fits. There are seasons in life when Allah changes your taste. Not your tongue, your soul. Things you once loved start feeling empty. Places you once ran toward start making you tired. People you once could not live without start feeling heavy. Conversations that once entertained you now drain you. Music, noise, gossip, showing off, comparison, endless scrolling, empty friendships, attention games, fake smiles. All of it starts to lose its power. And you wonder, what is happening to me? Nothing may be wrong with you. Perhaps Allah is changing what your heart can tolerate. When clothes become too small, they do not become evil. They simply no longer fit. Some friendships are like that. Some habits are like that. Some dreams are like that. Some versions of you are like that. They served a past season, but they cannot carry you into the next one. And because Allah is kind, He allows you to feel the tightness. He lets you feel the discomfort. He lets you notice, I cannot stay here anymore. This is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is quiet. You just stop enjoying the old places. You stop replying as quickly. You stop forcing yourself to belong. You stop chasing the same attention. You stop needing certain people to understand you. You stop arguing with people who are determined to remain blind. You stop explaining every change. You stop giving access to everyone. At first, people may say, you changed. And maybe you did. But not every change is betrayal. Some change is healing. Some change is growth. Some change is guidance. Some change is Allah pulling you away from a fire before you smelled the smoke. You must understand this. When Allah removes your desire for something, do not always beg for the desire to return. Sometimes the loss of desire is protection. You may think, I miss the old me. But perhaps the old you was surviving in places the new you has been rescued from. Perhaps the old you tolerated disrespect because you did not know your worth. Perhaps the old you needed attention because you did not yet know Allah's care. Perhaps the old you accepted empty love because you were afraid of being alone. Perhaps the old you kept returning to what hurt you because pain felt familiar. So Allah changed your taste. He made what was once exciting feel heavy. He made what was once attractive feel dangerous. He made what was once normal feel wrong. This is mercy. Because if Allah only removed things from your life while your heart still loved them too much, you might keep running after them. So sometimes, before Allah removes something from your hand, He removes it from your heart. And yes, it feels strange. It feels like you are becoming someone you do not know. But perhaps you are not becoming someone else. Perhaps you are finally becoming yourself. The self that was buried under fear. The self that was hidden under people-pleasing. The self that was covered by wounds. The self that was waiting for Allah's light to wake it up. So when something no longer fits, do not force it. When a place makes your heart dark, do not romanticize it. When a person keeps pulling you away from peace, do not call it loyalty. When a habit makes you ashamed before Allah, do not call it freedom. Allah may be letting you feel different so you can finally recognize what was never meant to remain. Allah lets you feel different because He wants you to come back to Him without being forced. One of the most beautiful signs of Allah's mercy is that He does not only guide us through ease, sometimes He guides us through emptiness. Because when everything feels full, people forget to look up. When every friend is available, people forget the one who never leaves. When every plan works, people forget the one who controls outcomes. When every desire is satisfied, people forget the soul. So Allah may allow a strange emptiness to enter your life. You may have people around you, but still feel alone. You may have things to do, but still feel unfulfilled. You may have blessings, but still feel a quiet ache inside. And you may not understand it. You may think, why do I feel empty when I have so much? Because the heart has a need that creation cannot fill. No person can replace Allah. No achievement can replace Allah. No attention can replace Allah. No money can replace Allah. No relationship can replace Allah. No entertainment can replace Allah. The heart can enjoy blessings, but it cannot worship blessings. The heart can love people, but it cannot depend on people like it depends on Allah. The heart can chase dreams, but if it forgets Allah, even the dream becomes a burden. So Allah lets you feel different. He lets you feel the emptiness of everything that is not Him. Not because He wants to hurt you, because He wants you back. Imagine a child walking toward a dangerous road, distracted by a toy. The mother calls the child. The child does not listen. So she raises her voice. Not because she hates the child, because danger is close. Sometimes the discomfort inside you is not cruelty. It is a call to pray again with meaning, a call to speak to Allah privately, a call to leave what is slowly harming you, a call to leave what is slowly harming you, a call to leave what is slowly harming you, a call to stop filling your emptiness with things that only deepen it. My brother, my sister, the heart that feels empty without Allah is not cursed. It is blessed. Because many hearts are empty and do not even know it. They keep laughing. They keep posting. They keep buying. They keep chasing. They keep distracting themselves. But they never ask why they are not at peace. If Allah lets you feel the emptiness, it means He has not left you numb. He is allowing you to feel the truth. And the truth is this: you were not created to live far from Him. You were not created to carry everything alone. You were not created to be fed only by attention, praise, money, beauty, or human love. You were created with a soul that needs Allah. So when your chest feels heavy, return. When your mind feels loud, return. When you feel different, return. When you feel no one understands, return. Do not wait until you are perfect. Do not wait until you are perfect. Do not wait until you are perfect. Do not wait until you feel holy. Return messy. Return tired. Return confused. Return with tears. Return with small steps. Return even if you have returned before and fallen again. Because Allah's door is not like the doors of people. People get tired of hearing your pain. Allah knows your pain before you speak. People may judge your past. Allah can forgive what people keep using against you. People may leave when you are heavy. Allah is the one who can carry what no human being was created to carry. Perhaps this is why you feel different. Because Allah is calling you back in a way only your heart can hear. Allah lets you feel different because your pain is making you deep. Some people live on the surface of life. They only notice what is loud. They only value what shines. They only respect what looks successful. They do not think deeply. They do not feel deeply. They do not ask why. They do not wonder about the next life. They do not question where their soul is going. They just move with the day. But pain changes a person. Loneliness changes a person. Disappointment changes a person. Being misunderstood changes a person. Waiting changes a person. Crying in silence changes a person. And sometimes Allah lets you feel different because He is giving you depth. Depth is not born in comfort. Depth is born when you are forced to sit with questions that others avoid. Why am I here? What does Allah want from me? Why did that door close? Why did that person leave? Why did my heart not find peace there? Why do I keep longing for something more? These questions may feel painful, but they are not useless. They are digging inside you. And when Allah digs inside a person, He may be preparing them to carry wisdom. A shallow cup spills quickly. A deeper vessel can hold more. Perhaps Allah is making you deeper, because the life ahead of you requires a stronger soul. Perhaps the people you will help one day need someone who knows what silent pain feels like. Perhaps your future patience is being built through today's waiting. Perhaps your future compassion is being built through today's tears. Perhaps your future strength is being built through today's rejection. Perhaps your future closeness to Allah is being built through today's loneliness. Do not waste your pain by turning it into bitterness. Turn it into understanding. When people hurt you, learn how much human hearts need Allah. When people leave you, learn that no human being can be your foundation. When doors close, learn that Allah knows the roads you cannot see. When you feel different, learn that not every soul is trained the same way. Some people are trained by ease. Some are trained by loss. Some are trained by waiting. Some are trained by silence. Some are trained by being misunderstood. And the believer does not say, "Why is my training different?" The believer says, "My Lord, help me learn what you want me to learn." There is something powerful about a person who has suffered but did not become cruel. A person who cried but still prays. A person who was rejected but still trusts Allah. A person who was misunderstood but does not seek revenge. A person who was broken by people but still refuses to break others. That kind of person carries a light that cannot be faked. And maybe that is what Allah is building in you. Not a loud person, not a fake perfect person, not someone who impresses everyone, but someone real, someone deep, someone whose presence makes others feel safe. Someone who can say, I know pain, but I also know Allah's mercy. This is why you must be careful with the story you tell yourself. Do not say, I feel different because my life is ruined. Say, I feel different because Allah is teaching me what shallow comfort could never teach me. Do not say, I am behind. Say, Allah is preparing me at a pace my soul can survive. Do not say, no one sees me. Say, Allah sees what no one else knows how to value. Your pain is not wasted when it takes you closer to Allah. Your tears are not useless when they wash pride from your heart. Your loneliness is not empty when it teaches you to depend on the one who never leaves. You feel different because you are being deepened. And depth is a gift, even when it arrives through pain. Allah lets you feel different because He is separating you before He elevates you. Before some people are raised, they are separated. Before some hearts are honored, they are hidden. Before some souls are trusted with more, they are tested with less. This is one of the hardest things to understand, because separation feels like punishment. Being left out feels like humiliation. Losing people feels like failure. Walking alone feels like rejection. But not every separation is a fall. Sometimes separation is the first step of elevation. Allah may remove you from certain people because their words were poisoning your confidence. He may remove you from certain places because your faith was becoming weak there. He may remove you from certain habits because they were slowly stealing your peace. He may remove you from certain dreams because they were too small for what He had written for you. And because you cannot see the full wisdom yet, you call it loss. But later, when your heart becomes clearer, you begin to understand. That friend leaving was mercy. That rejection was mercy. That closed door was mercy. That delay was mercy. That strange feeling in your chest was mercy. At the time, it felt like Allah was taking something from you. But perhaps He was taking you away from something. There is a difference. Sometimes Allah does not remove the danger from the road. He removes you from the road. Sometimes He does not change the people around you. He changes your love for their company. Sometimes He does not explain the wisdom immediately. He simply pulls you out and lets time reveal the truth. My brother, my sister, if Allah is separating you, do not panic. Ask yourself what He is protecting. Ask yourself what He is teaching. Ask yourself what you kept ignoring. Ask yourself why your heart was never fully peaceful there. There are places you prayed to enter that would have destroyed you. There are people you begged to stay who would have broken what was best in you. There are opportunities you cried over that would have made you arrogant, distracted, or far from Allah. There are relationships that looked beautiful but would have slowly trained you to disobey your Lord. So Allah separated you. And because separation hurts, you thought it was an ending. But in the unseen wisdom of Allah, it may have been the beginning of a cleaner life. You must understand something. Elevation is not always more money. It is not always more attention. It is not always a bigger platform, a better job, a perfect marriage, or visible success. Sometimes elevation is when Allah gives you back your peace. Sometimes elevation is when you stop craving someone who kept hurting you. Sometimes elevation is when you can sleep without guilt. Sometimes elevation is when your prayer becomes sincere again. Sometimes elevation is when your heart no longer enjoys sin the way it used to. Sometimes elevation is when you become content with less because Allah placed richness inside your chest. This is real honor. The world may not clap for it. People may not notice it. But Allah knows. And the angels know. And your soul knows. You may feel different because Allah is moving you from a life that looked full but was spiritually empty into a life that may look quieter but is filled with meaning. Do not be afraid of the quiet season. Many beautiful things grow in silence. A baby grows in a hidden place. A seed grows under the soil. A believer's strongest faith may grow in private tears. So if you are being separated, be patient. Do not run back to what Allah is saving you from. Do not keep knocking on doors Allah closed with mercy. Do not beg to belong where your soul keeps bleeding. Let Allah lead you, because sometimes He makes you different before He makes you ready. And sometimes He makes you alone before He makes you strong. Allah lets you feel different because He is making you harder to mislead. When you feel different, you start noticing things. You notice when words are beautiful, but intentions are not clean. You notice when someone's kindness has a hook inside it. You notice when a place looks exciting but leaves your soul dark. You notice when a friendship is built only on gossip, complaints, and distraction. You notice when your own heart is becoming arrogant, jealous, lazy, or careless. At first, this awareness feels heavy. You may wish you could ignore things like others do. You may wish you could be easily entertained. You may wish you did not sense the danger behind certain doors. But this awareness may be Allah's protection, because not every trap looks ugly. Some traps come dressed as love. Some traps come dressed as opportunity. Some traps come dressed as friendship. Some traps come dressed as fun. Some traps come dressed as success. And if Allah loves a person, He may give them an inner discomfort when something is wrong, even before the proof appears. This does not mean you judge everyone. This does not mean you become suspicious of every person. This does not mean you think you are better. No, a believer remains humble. A believer checks their own heart first. But a believer also learns wisdom. You do not give every person the key to your peace. You do not follow every invitation. You do not believe every sweet word. You do not enter every door just because it opened. You ask Allah for guidance. You look at the effect something has on your faith, your character, your peace, and your obedience. If being around someone makes you less grateful, less prayerful, less honest, less modest, less kind, and more attached to sin, then do not ignore that sign. If chasing something makes you anxious, arrogant, jealous, and far from Allah, then do not call it blessing too quickly. If a place makes your soul feel dirty, even while your ego feels entertained, then be careful. Allah may be letting you feel different because He is sharpening your spiritual sight. He is making you harder to fool, harder to control, harder to drag into foolishness, harder to poison with praise, harder to destroy with rejection, harder to impress with what is empty. This is why some people will not understand you. They will say, "You think too much." But maybe you have learned that not every shining thing is worth holding. They will say, "You are too serious." But maybe you have seen how quickly life passes. They will say, "You changed." But maybe Allah saved you from remaining blind. Do not let people shame you for becoming careful with your soul. You protect your phone with a password. You protect your money in a safe place. You protect your home with a lock. Then why would you leave your heart open to every influence? Your heart is more valuable than all of that. Your faith is more valuable than all of that. Your peace is more valuable than all of that. So when Allah gives you that inner discomfort, do not always silence it. Bring it to prayer. Ask Allah to make the truth clear. Ask Him to remove what is harmful. Ask Him to make you fair, not paranoid. Wise, not harsh. Careful, not arrogant. And if He keeps making you feel different around something, pay attention. Sometimes the heart knows what the eyes have not yet seen. Allah lets you feel different because He is preparing you for a responsibility. Some people think feeling different is only about pain. But sometimes, feeling different is about responsibility. Allah may be preparing you to carry something. A message, a family, a future, a healing, a kind of patience, a kind of leadership, a kind of mercy, a kind of wisdom that others will need from you later. This is why your life may not feel like everyone else's life. Your tests may feel strange. Your emotions may feel deep. Your path may feel slower. Your heart may not be satisfied with shallow things. You may keep asking bigger questions. You may feel pushed to become better even when you are tired. You may feel guilty when you waste your potential. You may feel called to rise even when no one is watching. That feeling is not random. Sometimes Allah places a restlessness in the heart of someone He is preparing. Not the restlessness of greed, not the restlessness of wanting to be seen, but the restlessness of knowing, I was not created to waste my life. You may not know your full purpose yet. That is okay. You do not need to see the whole road to take the next right step. Start with what Allah has placed in front of you. Fix your prayer. Guard your tongue. Clean your intentions. Respect your parents if they are alive, and pray for them if they have passed. Be honest in your work. Stop returning to what damages your soul. Choose better company. Learn your faith. Be useful to people. Heal what you can. Apologize where you should. Protect your heart. Build discipline. Because responsibility is not given to people who only want comfort. Responsibility requires training, and training often feels different. A person training for a race does not live like everyone sitting on the side. A student preparing for an important exam cannot spend time like everyone who does not care. A person carrying a heavy trust cannot feed their soul with the same carelessness as everyone else. So when Allah makes you feel different, perhaps He is teaching you discipline before the responsibility arrives. He is teaching you patience before the door opens. He is teaching you sincerity before people notice. He is teaching you humility before success comes. He is teaching you dependence on Him before the world tests you with praise. Because praise can destroy a person who has not been trained in private. Attention can poison a heart that has not learned sincerity. Success can expose weaknesses that were never healed. So Allah may hide you first. He may slow you down. He may make you feel unseen. He may let you grow in quiet. And this hidden season may be one of the greatest mercies of your life. Do not rush to be seen. Do not rush to be praised. Do not rush to be understood. Ask Allah to make you ready. Because when the time comes, you do not want to arrive empty. You want to arrive with a heart that knows Him. You want to arrive with character. You want to arrive with patience. You want to arrive with humility. You want to arrive with wisdom. You want to arrive with a soul that does not collapse when people clap and does not break when people criticize. Perhaps Allah lets you feel different because your future requires a version of you that cannot be built in noise. Allah lets you feel different so you can learn that your worth comes from Him. This may be the deepest lesson of all. Allah lets you feel different so you can stop measuring yourself with the wrong ruler. People measure worth in strange ways. Beauty, money, status, marriage, followers, attention, career, confidence. How many people want you? How many people praise you? How much you own? How powerful you look? But Allah does not measure you the way people measure you. People see your outside. Allah knows your inside. People see your results. Allah knows your effort. People see your smile. Allah knows what it cost you to keep going. People see your mistakes. Allah knows the tears you cried after them. People see your delays. Allah knows the wisdom behind them. People see your loneliness. Allah knows the protection inside it. So when you feel different, do not rush to hate yourself. Do not let the world convince you that your value is low, because your path is not loud. Some of the most precious things are hidden. Diamonds are hidden in the earth. Pearls are hidden in shells. Seeds are hidden before they rise. Sincere deeds are often hidden from people but known to Allah. Your worth is not reduced because people do not understand you. Your worth is not reduced because someone left. Your worth is not reduced because you are still waiting. Your worth is not reduced because you are not where you thought you would be by now. Your worth is not reduced because you feel different. You belong to Allah. That is enough to give you dignity. You are seen by Allah. That is enough to give you comfort. You are guided by Allah when He opens your heart to guidance. That is enough to give you hope. The world may not know what Allah is doing inside you, but Allah knows. And when Allah is building a person, the early stages can look confusing. A construction site looks messy before it becomes beautiful. A field looks empty before the harvest appears. A heart being purified may feel broken before it feels peaceful. So do not judge your life too early. Do not look at one painful chapter and decide the whole story is ruined. Do not look at one rejection and decide you are unwanted. Do not look at one delay and decide Allah has forgotten you. Do not look at one lonely season and decide you are unloved. Allah's timing is not careless. Allah's wisdom is not limited. Allah's mercy is not small. You may feel different today, but one day you may look back and say, that difference saved me. It saved me from the wrong crowd. It saved me from losing my faith. It saved me from marrying the wrong person. It saved me from chasing empty attention. It saved me from becoming cruel. It saved me from living a life that looked good, but felt dead inside. It saved me from forgetting Allah. And if being different brings you closer to Allah, then it is not a curse. It is a gift. So hold your heart gently tonight. Do not punish yourself for not fitting where Allah is removing you. Do not beg to be normal in a world that often normalizes what harms the soul. Do not call yourself broken because you no longer enjoy what was breaking you. You are not behind because your path is different. You are not weak because your heart is soft. You are not lost because your road is quiet. You are not rejected because Allah is separating you. You are not strange because your soul wants more than this world can give. You are being called. You are being shaped. You are being protected. You are being returned. And perhaps the difference you have been crying over is the very sign that Allah has not left your heart alone. My brother, my sister, tonight, speak to Allah in your own words. Tell Him, my Lord, I do not always understand why I feel this way, but I trust you. If this difference is guidance, increase me in it. If it is a test, strengthen me through it. If it is protection, make me grateful for it. If it is a call back to you, do not let me ignore it. Ask Him to make your heart firm. Ask Him to make your path clear. Ask Him to remove from your life what looks sweet but is harmful. Ask Him to keep near you what is good, clean, sincere, and pleasing to Him. Ask Him to make you different in the way that brings you closer to Him, not different in pride, not different in arrogance, but different in faith, kindness, patience, wisdom, and peace. And remember this, the moon is different from the stars, but it still lights the night. A rose is different from a tree, but it still carries beauty. A believer may be different from the crowd, but that difference may be the mercy that saves them. So do not fear being different when Allah is guiding you. Fear becoming so similar to the wrong people that you lose the voice of your own soul. Fear becoming so busy being accepted that you forget to be sincere. Fear becoming so comfortable in the world that your heart stops longing for Allah. Your difference is not your shame. It may be your sign. It may be your protection. It may be your invitation. It may be the quiet beginning of a life that is finally becoming honest before Allah. Do not rush. Do not hate the season. Do not fight every lonely moment. Do not force old doors open. Do not explain your growth to people who only miss the version of you they could control. Let Allah lead. Let Allah heal. Let Allah separate. Let Allah replace. Let Allah raise. And when the world makes you feel strange for choosing Allah, remember this: the goal was never to fit into every room. The goal was to return to Allah with a heart that still recognizes Him. And if feeling different helps you return, then that difference was not a wound. It was mercy wearing the face of pain.